BinJin's heartwarming Blue Dragon win leaves Korea in awe. In a single night in Seoul, a married couple swept the two biggest acting honors for the first time in the 46-year history of the Blue Dragon Film Awards, turning the ceremony into something closer to a fairy tale than a competition. On November 19, 2025, Hyun and Ye-jin, the couple the entire nation already adored, stood on the same stage minutes apart, each clutching the coveted Blue Dragon trophy while the audience roared in disbelief and delight. What unfolded afterward felt less like an awards show and more like a love letter to Korean cinema, to history, to family, and to the quiet miracles that happen when life and art decide to hold hands. The film that carried the evening was Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice, a work so precise, so haunting, that it walked away with 6 awards, including the grand prize of Best Film. Park himself took home Best Director, a recognition that felt almost inevitable the moment the first reviews appeared months earlier. Critics had whispered that this might be the maestro's most controlled yet emotionally violent piece since Oldboy, and the Blue Dragon jury clearly agreed. Ye-jin, playing a woman torn between impossible moral decisions in the film, delivered what many now call the performance of her career. When her name was called for Best Actress, the camera caught her mouth actually falling open. She turned instinctively toward Hyun in the front row, as if to confirm this was really happening. It was her second Blue Dragon Best Actress win, 17 years after her first for My Wife Got Married, when she was just 27 and still wide-eyed about the industry. Standing there now, a mother, a wife, 17 years older and infinitely wiser, she laughed through tears and admitted she had prepared no speech because she genuinely believed the trophy would go elsewhere. Then she quoted her younger self from 2008. Being a 27-year-old actress is not easy. I think this award will become my strength. Before adding softly, tonight, you made the dream come true again. The hall erupted. Moments earlier, Hyun had claimed Best Actor for his towering portrayal of independence fighter An Jung-gun in Harbin. To fully grasp how heavy that role is, remember that An assassinated Ito Hirobumi, the Japanese resident general of Korea, in 1909, and was executed at age 30. Korean actors have spent decades treating the part as almost sacred, untouchable. Hyun himself turned it down twice, telling the director he didn't have the spiritual weight to carry a national hero. Only after months of persuasion, late-night talks, and quiet soul-searching did he say yes. The film itself is relentless. 2 hours and 40 minutes of snow, shadows, and moral clarity. When Hyun accepted the award, he looked less like a movie star and more like a man who had spent the last 2 years living inside history. He spoke slowly, voice cracking. The fact that I can live in this country and stand here today is thanks to those who devoted and sacrificed their lives to protect the nation. I dedicate this award to them. Then, turning tender, he thanked his wife by her real nickname. I want to send my deep love and gratitude to my wife, Ye-jin, who becomes my greatest strength just by being there, and to our son. You could hear the audience collectively exhale, half sigh, half sob. Somewhere in the balcony, someone started clapping in rhythm, and the entire hall joined in, a wave of applause that refused to end. Later, when both returned to the stage to accept the Most Popular Star Awards, an audience-voted prize they shared with Park Jin-young and Im Yoon-ah, they stood side by side like prom king and queen who had somehow grown up into national treasures. Ye-jin, still dazed, dedicated her second trophy of the night to the two men I love the most, Kim Tae-pyong and our son. using Hyunbin's real name the way only she is allowed. The camera zoomed in on Hyunbin's face. He was crying without shame, the kind of tears men rarely let the world see. It was the image that broke the Korean internet for the next 48 hours. No Other Choice also took home Best Supporting Actor for the ever-reliable Lee Sung-min, Best Music for Cho Young-wook's nerve-shredding score, and Best Technical Achievement for costume designer Cho Sung-kyung, whose work made every frame look like a painting you could step into. Meanwhile, Harbin secured Best Cinematography and Lighting for Hong Kyung-pyo and his team, who turned the frozen Manchurian landscape into something almost biblical. In a night dominated by veterans, younger voices still found their moment. Park Ji-hyun won Best Supporting Actress for the psychological thriller Hidden Face. An Bo-hyun took Best New Actor for the wild comedy Pretty Crazy. And former Weki Meki member Kim Do-yeon surprised everyone by winning Best New Actress for the horror comedy Idiot Girls and School Ghost, School Anniversary. Yet none of those victories carried the emotional weight of the Hyunbin-Son Ye-jin sequence. Their story has always felt scripted by a particularly generous universe. They met on the set of The Negotiation in 2018, fell in love while filming the drama Crash Landing on You that turned half of Asia into hopeless romantics, married in 2022, welcomed their son later that year, and then, after years of careful choices, returned to the big screen in two of the most ambitious Korean films of the decade, only to sweep the country's most prestigious awards on the same November night. It is the kind of real-life arc that screenwriters would be told is too convenient, too perfect, too much. Except, it happened. For Son Ye-jin, the victory tasted like vindication after a 7-year absence from cinema. She had stepped away to build a family, to live privately, to let the world move on without her face on every billboard. Many wondered if she could still command the screen the way she once did. No Other Choice answered that question with a performance so raw that Park Chan-wook himself said he often forgot he was directing an actress and not the actual woman unraveling in front of the camera. She spoke that night about how marriage and motherhood had quietly reshaped her inner world. "I'm greedier now to become a better person, a more mature actor." You could feel the audience nodding, not just because they love her, but because they recognized the universal truth in it. Life changes you, and if you're lucky, the work deepens right alongside it. Hyunbin's journey to Harbin was its own quiet epic. Friends say he lost nearly 15 kilograms for the role, trained in marksmanship for months, and studied An Jung-gun's letters until he could quote them in his sleep. He refused to let the production use a body double for the prison scenes, spending hours in freezing water tanks to capture the martyr's final days. When the film premiered, older audience members wept openly in theaters, telling reporters it was the first time they felt a film truly honored the independence movement without melodrama or exaggeration. That the Blue Dragon jury placed him above titans like Lee Byung-hun and Sol Kyung-gu only underlined how completely he had disappeared into the role. By the time the ceremony ended, past midnight, the feeling inside the venue was less triumph and more gratitude, as if everyone present had been allowed to witness something fragile and fleeting. Two artists at the height of their powers, two human beings who found each other against staggering odds. Two parents who still managed to deliver career-defining work while raising a toddler away from the cameras. All of it crowned on one electric night in Seoul. Korean cinema has given the world many unforgettable images. Blood-soaked revenges, ghostly tragedies, tender romances that stop your heart. But perhaps none will linger as long as the sight of Hyunbin and Ye-jin, minutes apart, bowing deeply to a standing ovation, holding their blue dragons high while looking, for one suspended moment, like the happiest people on earth.